By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to get 100% pass rate on your very first try doing the PSM II exam with under 1 day or 24 hours of preparation work. First off, what is the PSM II? Scrum.org, which is an institution based on Scrum and the Agile Manifesto, provides tons of trainings, tons of articles, tons of knowledge, and also certifications. And one of these certifications is the Professional Scrum Master Level 2, PSM II. As per Scrum.org, the PSM II evaluation is available to anyone who has passed the PSM I assessment and wants to demonstrate their ability to apply the Scrum framework to solve advanced and complex problems in the real world. This statement is a little bit misleading. It's not a requirement. You don't need to get your PSM I certificate in order to apply for a PSM II. It's not a requirement, it's only recommended by Scrum.org to do the PSM I certificate first, and then you do your PSM II. There's no prerequisites to take the PSM II exam. You can literally take the exam in the next minute. You just pay $250 to do it. The PSM II exam is structured the same way as the PSM I exam. You got 30 questions to answer in 90 minutes. That's 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes per question. It's an online assessment. Once you pay for the exam, you get a unique link from Scrum.org where you can take the exam. It's an open book, don't worry about it. You can use the Scrum guide, you can use anything to go through the exam. Multiple choice, answers, one answer, multiple answers per question. It's really in the same structure as the PSM I, except that you have only one try. Only one try to get 85%, at least 85% to pass the exam. There's also a training provided by Scrum.org called the Professional Scrum Master II training, where they will go deeper into how the Scrum Master serves the developers, the organization, and the product owner, and also what stances the Scrum Master takes every single day in their daily activities. It's not mandatory to take the training. Nothing is mandatory to take the training. Nothing is required, but recommended. It's recommended by Scrum.org that you take this training. The training can be done online or in person. It lasts 2 days or 16 hours. If you do it online, it costs $1,000. And a good bonus of this training is that you get 2 additional attempts for your PSM II exam. So you can fail twice and still have a free third try to pass the exam. You also get a $200 discount, I think, if you want to take the PSM free exam. $200 discount, that's not bad. Again, there's no prerequisites for you to take that training, but it's recommended by Scrum.org that you have at least your PSM I certificate and 1 year, minimum 1 year experience as a Scrum Master or an Agile team leader in order to take that training. It's only recommended, not required. Now, is the training worth it? It's not required to take the exam. You can just read the Scrum guide well, understand it well, and take the exam. But the training is extremely good, especially for people who are new Scrum Masters or not Scrum Masters yet. We all get tons of knowledge, deeper knowledge on how a Scrum Master serves the developers, serves the organization, serves the product owner. It really goes deeper compared to the PSM I training. How do you pass this exam? How do you get 100% on your very first try? Well, you need to understand the difference between the PSM I and the PSM II exam. The PSM II exam is just a lengthier version of the PSM I exam. You get more to read, but at the end of the day, Scrum is Scrum. It's the same thing. So for PSM I, as an example, they can ask you, what's 3 plus 3? As simple as that. For PSM II, they will tell you, John goes to the groceries. He has $100 and goes to the groceries and buys something for $70 in total. And then Paul has $200, goes to the groceries and buys something else. And then they meet, and then they do that, and then they do this. It's a scenario-based question. But at the end of the day, same answer. It's going to be 6, 3 plus 3. You go through all these loops to attain the same conclusion. That's why it's a bit more complex. But it's not really, because Scrum is Scrum. And because of this, I believe that the only thing that you need, the only thing required in order to pass this exam is the Scrum Guide 2020. The latest version of the Scrum Guide. That's the only thing that you need, and the only thing that you need to really understand. Scrum.org tells you to read these articles, these books, take the training. But it's not required. It can help, yeah. But the Scrum Guide is the highest authority in Scrum. If you truly understand the Scrum Guide, you'll get 100%. You have to. So read the Scrum Guide 2020 twice a day for 7 days. I guarantee you that with every read, you'll discover something new. You'll understand something new that will solidify your understanding of a Scrum framework as a whole. Now, the PSM I exam has open assessments that you can take, practice exams that you can take. The PSM II, you don't get that. And there's a reason for that. Here's the official reason of Scrum.org. The PSM II assessment is at a much more advanced level for people who already have a strong grasp of working knowledge of Scrum. We want to encourage people to leverage their knowledge and experience when taking the PSM II. This gives our certifications greater value in the marketplace, so people know that Scrum.org certificate holders have earned their credentials through deep understanding of a framework rather than through rote memorization. If people rely too heavily on memorizing questions and scenarios to prepare for the assessments, the meaning signified by Scrum.org certifications would be diluted. If you still want to practice, don't worry, there's a few resources online that mimic this open assessment for the PSM II. I left a few links in the description of this video. You can also do the open assessments available on Scrum.org for the topics like the product owner and other topics. This will solidify your understanding and you can prove your understanding of a Scrum framework. There's also some books, 2 books that I recommend you reading if you really want to solidify your understanding of Scrum. I left the links in the description, but these are always things not required. The only thing that I believe is required is the Scrum Guide 2020. You really need to understand that. Now that we have a preparation work in order during the assessment, when taking the exam, read all the questions a few times, read the questions a few times, really focus. As mentioned, it's not like the PSM I. You get harder questions in terms of the length. 10-liners sometimes. It's tricky. Really focus and understand the questions. It's easy, but you really need to focus and understand the question. And 90 minutes for 30 questions, 3 minutes per question, that's nothing. If you feel that after 1.5 minutes, you really don't understand the question, or it's tricky, you don't know the answer, just skip it. Move on to the next question and go on like that, and you can come back later to this question. Don't waste time. 90 minutes is nothing for these 30 questions because these are bulky questions. Also, most of the questions, you don't have one single answer. No. You'll need to choose from the best possible options available in the answers, which can sometimes be tricky. After the exam, if you passed, congratulations, you are the best. If you failed and want to retake the exam, you have 2 options here. If you took the training, Professional Scrum Master 2 training from Scrum.org, you have 2 more attempts for the exam, which is good. If you didn't take this bundle, you only purchased the exam, $250, you need to buy it again, unfortunately. So please don't retake the exam in the next hour or even in the next day. Wait 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Go through the Scrum Guide again. Go through other materials again. Read the Scrum Guide multiple times. Really understand why you failed the exam. Why did you answer wrong to these questions? Take your time. Don't rush. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile Scrum personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.